All right, looks like we're live. Hello everybody, my name is Russ.
And I'm Kerry.
And we are the Roads We Roam. We are still out in the desert of Pahrump, Nevada. And I guess I should probably start this off by saying happy Sunday to everybody. Cheers.
Do you say cheers for coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
Why not? We'll start it. Hashtag definitely.
So who's in the room right now?
So we have, amazingly, our son who's awake on a Sunday morning. So good morning, Brett.
What's his YouTube name, just out of...
Brett Balberona.
Is it Brett Okay, you never know with that kid.
We have Michael and Tiffany from RVDM.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us.
We have Donna Delahunty here.
Hey Donna.
Mika Long.
Hey Mika.
And let's see, so that's all we have so far in the room.
All right.
Well, that have announced.
Have chatted?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are still in the same place. We're in a little bit of a different view because of the sun coming over. So
yeah.
This is the not so great view, but what you may get coming by every now and then are the dune buggies.
Yep.
So about, 6 of them just sped on by.
Heading up into the mountains there. There's a bunch of them down lower. Where we are up higher is the more quiet area, and down lower is kind of the party area.
We had an hour-long fireworks show last night.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. We caught a little bit of it on video. Abby, not such a fan.
No, she wasn't a fan of that at all.
But Billy could have cared less. And Billy's afraid of everything else, but she could have cared less. Kate's here. Hi, Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Good morning.
So let me start off here real quick with updates. So we've had 2 issues since we bought this, and one was the refrigerator. Fixed that, no problem.
Yeah, we tested that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tested that.
You'll see that on the video next Saturday. And then we also noticed a little bit of a smell every once in a while when the wind hit just right of sewage that would come into the rig. Did a little bit of research and ended up replacing the black valve, the blade valve, which was not fun, and I can see why.
$16 fix.
Yeah, I could see why these RV people charge a lot of money, because no matter how much you dump that tank out, there's still going to be some in there. But anyways, long story short, fixed that the other night and haven't had that smell ever again. So it was well worth it.
Let's say good morning. We have Explore with Bruce and Blondie.
Hey, Bruce and Blondie.
Scott and Tammy, Where to Wander To.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us.
Lewis.
Hey, Lewis, how's it going, buddy?
Deborah Cadabra.
I love that name.
And Miss Tamara Everett.
Hey, Tamara.
Good morning, everyone. So we have, Deborah said, good morning, Kerry and Russ. Thanks for the tour of the new 1999 Class A. Looks like the previous owner took really good care of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That was one of the things, even though everything's dated in it, all the carpeting and the materials, the fabric inside, were still in really great shape, so I can live with it.
Yeah, while we renovate. The very first thing we're going to do is put a wood floor down. But one thing that I've noticed is, even though everything's dated, technology is up to date. Super high technology in the solar inverters, super high technology with the TV and the systems he had set up in that. Super high technology in the WeBoost.
I just found something out this morning.
What's that?
The solar panels that we have
are dirty?
They are dirty, but they're 2018.
Oh, okay.
So he just put them in within the last year.
Yeah.
So
well, I got to get up there. I climbed up there for that tour video. I noticed that they're a little bit dirty, so I'll be back up there again, wiping those down.
I'll send you up some bottles.
I got to read. I don't know. Can you do that during the day, or?
I would probably wait until it's late. It's like I would think it's like cleaning windows. You don't want to clean windows when the sun's beating right down on it.
Yeah.
Hey, my sister Kim is in the room.
Wow, Kim's
I know,
here?
Kim's here.
My goodness, thanks for joining us, Kim.
I will also give a shout out to Mr. Logan and AJ, because I'm sure they're not far behind.
They are our nephews. Yep.
Adventures in RV Living. Good morning. Cheers to you both.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
We got the little emoji with that, so I had to do that. Judy Payne from Georgia is in the room.
Hey, Judy. Glad you're here with us.
And Tamara said we got a super good buy. And that's from someone who spent as much as we did on it in taxes. So
yeah, we learned
her Airstream.
And she owned a Little Guy Max before that, and she gave us a lot of good tips, like with the blow up balls, beach balls and stuff.
If this was a really fantastic trip. So whenever you're traveling and you have dead space and you want things to shake around while you're in transit, you buy those little beach blow-up balls and the swim fins.
Little Koffees, yeah.
Blow them up and just stick them in there. And then when you don't need them, you deflate them and you can just tuck them away. I thought that was ingenious.
That was
so
brilliant.
Thank you, Tamara.
Yeah, Tamara gave us that. I got to do something, guys. I'm sorry. Just I had...
Did you have too much pizza?
No, my mic cord, when I put it through, got buttoned into my pants. And every time I move, it's tugging on my mic cord. So, yeah, I'm getting undressed for everybody. Thinking about joining that Birds of Feather group, the nudist one.
All right, we're going to have to part ways then. Abby, not a fireworks noise fan. You know, I'm glad we were still a good ways off. Explore with Bruce and Blondie said Pahrump is one of the closest places to Vegas for legal fireworks, so we'll see more. It was kind of cool seeing them, but I just felt bad for Abby, and I'm glad we weren't any closer because I think the louder booms. And we've never really been too close to fireworks for her in the past. Yeah. So it's good for us to know for future reference. Let's not take her to a 4th of July festival or something. We'll go way out somewhere for that, because I hated seeing her all stressed out.
Yeah, interesting news last night. We saw our first BLM Ranger came through last night. Didn't stop with us, made a beeline to the trailer that's just up there.
Yeah.
But I think he's been out here longer, so the BLM guy probably recognized him, like, okay, it's probably, because we've been out here a week now.
Yep.
So he's been out here at the very least a week. But it's always nice seeing BLM roll through. You know that they're patrolling the area, and it's really quiet up here.
You know, it was really nice. So we had already gone to bed for the evening. Russ was sound asleep. I was still...
I don't remember any of this.
Snoring like crazy. But it was around 10:30 or so, and a van pulled in with a little A-frame thing, and it was a single female traveler.
Yep.
She kind of came in, and our neighbor over there, Mike, he happened to be outside, so he talked with her for a little while, and so he told her, you know what, you can pull in right in between, you know, me and this other couple, you know, they're nice and quiet and whatnot. And it just gave her, you could tell just from hearing their conversation, she felt comfortable that she was in a good area for the evening. And then she packed up first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I never knew she was here.
Yeah, I'm telling Russ all this stuff. He goes, when did all this happen?
How do you know names? Carrie knew her name, all that stuff. You could hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, what was funny is I thought it was actually Mike leaving this morning, because I did hear her pack up and leave. And then I came out and Mike's pickup truck was still there. I was like, what? What's he doing? I thought he left.
So let's count it out. Can always count on Brett for these type of references. Brett said the new old RV makes it look like you're about to rescue Princess Vespa from Spaceballs.
Yeah, I know he's pushing hard for a Spaceball name, because they did have an RV as one of the space vehicles there.
Yeah, well, see, Russ still hasn't put up the thing for vote, because I think he's not ready to commit to a name just yet, because he hasn't gotten the feeling for it yet, but you've got to put up for vote.
Yeah, I gotta think of some good names.
Donna wants to know what we clean the panels with. We'll probably Google that, because I want to make sure.
I don't know. I was gonna ask you guys.
Yeah, but before Google, let's put it out there to you guys. Does anybody know what we should clean solar panels with?
Yep, we are going to Google that if we don't get an answer here.
And she's planning on putting them on her Tab 320. Now, I don't know if it's the same. So for the Tab, you're probably going to be putting on the flexible type, like what we had on the little guy, and those are the flexi ones. I don't know if you can clean them the same way.
Probably, yeah.
As these are the more glass box type ones.
Yeah, they're rigid and thick. They're about that thick.
Lewis said, Russ saw your question on the hose reroute. Wasn't a big job. So Lewis responded to Russ's problem that we're running into with trying to fill our fresh water tank, and he said he had the same thing. He rerouted the hose thing.
Yeah.
And we asked how involved that was.
Yeah, so I looked into that, actually. I think you were replying. I had already gone into that. So I can see through the closet, because the lines come in through the closet for the fresh and the city, and then they go under the bed where the 63-gallon tank are. So it doesn't look like there's any right angles or anything inside the closet area, but I'm going to wait for it to get cooler. Tomorrow's supposed to be considerably cooler. It's supposed to be in the high 70s tomorrow. I'm going to pull the bed out, I'm going to unscrew the wood, pull that up, and then I can see if there's any kinks in it or wild angles like you were talking about, Lewis. Another possibility brought up by Liz, her husband Verl, said that our vent hose might be clogged as well. So I'm going to check out exactly what Lewis said as well as what Verl said.
Russ tried to use compressed air in that little vent area, and that didn't fix it, so we're going to have to
the problem is it's so long. You get about 4 foot, and all I had was a compressed air can. I don't have a compressor.
So Mom is in the room. She said, hi, I just got done mowing the acre.
Hey, Mom.
So nice busy day mowing the lawn on that nice riding lawnmower.
Yeah, I like her riding lawnmower.
Shoot, at the time when we were visiting, we had our little guy Max parked in her driveway. They got a new house for their riding lawnmower, which was bigger than our little guy Max.
Yeah. Ooh, almost spilled the coffee.
So, bug. So, Adventures in RV Living, y'all post videos daily. How do you come up with the content and the topics?
So we used to post daily. We are now down to about, we used to do 8 videos a week. We are now down to what, 6 videos a week?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but you know, it's just, the content part is pretty easy.
We're documenting
what we're doing.
Life, and to let people see the experience. So even the whole experience of us starting off in a travel trailer and then moving to something bigger, that's just part of our story.
I don't think you have to think of these amazing storylines. You definitely have to have, I mean, what you go through daily is your story, and people are interested in that because they're A, either living this life, B, they're getting ready to live this life, or C, they want to live this life. So something that may seem mundane to you, Kerry and I learned this very early. We're like, oh, nobody wants to see this, but that's all we can think of. That's all we can do. And sure enough, those had great engagement.
So chances are, if things interest you, they'll more than likely interest other people.
Yeah, and your daily day-to-day is interesting for people who are looking at getting into this life.
Improv Debbie's here. Hi.
She's down in Florida.
She's doing a suggestion for Abby being stressed with the fireworks. She said, I wonder if Abby would do better in a thunder shirt. She hates any type of clothing being put on her.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would stress her out. But I mean, the frequency of her being exposed to that is so few and far between.
Yep.
But I do know that a thunder shirt type of thing has worked well with Billy in the past.
Yeah.
And so I am in agreement with those things.
When we first got Billy from the rescue, the slightest wind, I'm not over exaggerating, wind would scare her, rain would scare her, anything would scare her.
Down.
But she's gotten so much better now.
Chuck is in the room.
Hey, Chuck.
Get Bronson. He said, hey, Russ and Mama B. See?
Hey, Brett, if you're still watching, that's your RV brother. Get Bronson.
Hey, does whitewater rafting in Bend, Oregon. Just saying.
Yeah.
Carl Van Ryzen's in the room. Hi, Carl.
Shaka, Carl. How's it going, brother?
And Kim is voting for Spaceballs all the way.
I have a feeling Josh is telling her to vote that way as well.
Yeah.
Josh is a big sci-fi nut, just like our son.
Okay, so Tamara brought up a good comment. She said, I wonder if there's anything that would help with static electricity on the solar panels, something to reverse it and repel dust, or am I dreaming? That actually would be a really cool idea when you're living in these dusty environments. Mm-hmm. I think most of this came from that brief rain we had about a week or so ago.
Yeah.
And then the wind blew and the dust stuck to the dampness.
Yeah, you can see the pattern of that when you're up there.
And the other thing out here is the hard water. Mm-hmm. The water just leaves all those marks out there. But when you're in a place like Sedona, having something that would just get that dust to blow off stuff.
Yep.
That's something. We joked before about being in Sedona and the dust getting into everything. As we were cleaning out the little guy Max, I wiped down every square inch of that place, even the walls. And as I'm wiping down the walls, they came away with that lightest tinge from
You'd think
Sedona.
We had everything clean because you went through and wiped stuff down, but it's a different cleaning when you're living in it versus when you're cleaning it to prep it for sale.
Yes.
So what we thought was clean and dust-free, not necessarily.
Very true. Susan Bowles. Hi, Susan.
Hey, Susan.
Welcome. Happy Sunday. She said, hi, Kerry and Russ. We love your YouTube channel. We learn a lot from you. We are on our way to Myrtle Beach State Park today with our little guy, Max.
Nice.
How cool. Open up all of those windows and enjoy it.
Yeah.
That is the one thing I loved about the Max is just, that was the thing that sold me on it. Right.
7 windows, and you can open those bad boys up, and we've had it where we've been in close to 90-degree weather with that little guy Max. Open those windows up, and the cross breeze drops everything significantly.
We were in just outside of Tucson right after Escapade, and the temperatures did get up to right around 90. We didn't have to turn on the generator. We didn't have to do any of that to cool off. One, we knew to orient the trailer in the right direction so the sun wasn't beating down the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then you just open up the windows, and it kept it very comfortable in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Your mom's getting a lot of love. Oh boy, Chuck's really laying it on. He said, you did a great job raising him. He's a great person.
To my mom?
Yeah. But yes, she did. Tamara said, your kid is a hoot.
Yeah, I can be sometimes. Sometimes I watch these things, I'm like, why did I say that?
Stacy's here.
Hey,
Hi,
Stacy.
Stacy. Just stopped by to have a nice coffee with you. Just read that you can use warm water and soap to clean panels. No special stuff needed. I like that.
Thank you very much, Stacy.
And I got some of the special soap for even the dishes that is
environmentally
friendly and whatnot. So that way if you're hosing it down and it drops down to the ground.
it's important when you're out here. You know, we are out in our natural resources. You definitely don't want to poison them with putting chemicals out into the ground. So that's very important.
So Two Doves is here. They said your friendly neighbor across the street saying hi. So this is where they were parked.
Yeah, you would have seen them right here, but they
went to
they wimped out.
They did not.
No, they're getting ready to go back to Vegas. They've got some friends coming in to visit.
Dumped the tanks,
they had to dump tanks,
recharge.
and really what they wanted to do was take a really nice shower so they weren't stanky.
I don't blame them.
Well, we've taken some nice showers here, so I think we're pretty good.
That was.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Okay. So I'm trying to catch up here. Tamara says 25 years ago, I remember joining some pyramid thing that had a surfactant solution that made water wetter and mirrors cleaned it and it repelled dust.
I'm sorry, that just caught me off guard. Water wetter.
I know. I think I don't know. Gives it some.
I'm into marketing, and I would have a very difficult. I could just see that marketer. Okay, we'll say it makes water wetter.
Water wetter.
How do we sell this?
But, hey, that is brilliant because guess what? She remembered it.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about it. So it was brilliant marketing. Good job, whoever did that. Shakely or Shackley. So I'll have to Google that and check that because that will help. It repels the dust. I think it probably has some type of oily thing that will keep it kind of like what Pledge does on your furniture, I would believe.
Yeah.
JT's here, the winner of your Escapade hat.
Yeah, that's right. I remember. He's from El Paso.
JT and DT. We've got Improv Debbie called out the Shackley. Yep.
Okay.
So that's what it is. Oh, Carl said we're getting a major tan. This boy is. I'm finally getting a little bit of color, which I haven't seen in years.
Yeah, but see.
Yeah.
I gotta. Back when I was younger and I had a nice surfer physique, I was out without my shirt on. Now I wear my shirt all the time.
Well, for me, Russ is so used to me being so pasty white that when we were in Sedona,
I just thought she was continually dirty. I was like, we got baby wipes. You can wipe yourself off. She looked like she was like my family. I've never seen her look tan like that.
Yeah, so he just
I think I said
me,
you looked Apache is what I said.
I was like, thank you. You make me feel like I'm dirty all the time.
No, I just wasn't.
Kerry tan equals dirty, I guess. I don't know.
Well, what you used to do in the past was burn, peel, never tan. Now she's tanning because I think we've just been out in the sun a lot more.
We have, and I think for the first time ever in my life, I've been able to do it in increments where I come out for just a little bit during the day. So it's before I would be stuck in that rut where I worked in an office all the time, and then I've got a day that I can go, or my 1 week vacation, I'm going to go lay out in the sun and try to get a tan to prove that I enjoyed vacation. And then I just burned and it faded again.
I noticed I haven't seen Jum Bink's name. Have you seen Jum Bink?
No, not yet.
Well, Jum Bink, I have my hat and I have my fire starter. So if you are ever so present, I'm ready to cash in on your deal that you offered.
Those two, I'll tell you.
Ron and Linda. Ron's a good guy. I like
No, I
Ron.
meant you and Ron. The conversations you two have.
Yeah, we have some Facebook chats going back and forth.
Your mom is ditching us because she's going to go jump in her pool. I can't blame her.
I don't blame you, Mom.
I can't blame her, actually.
I don't blame you.
She just mowed the lawn. Yeah, you
go,
earned it.
Go rest up and enjoy that cool pool.
So Lewis says, Russ, I see a beard and feel the beard move. He's trying.
It's coming in. It's coming in. But I have Pacific Islander and Asian in my blood, and neither one of those. Well, I don't know. King Kalakaua had a pretty bad beard, or I was going to say bad A beard, but he had a pretty cool beard. So I guess we can. I don't know.
He's never had one, never committed to trying to grow one.
It's beyond the itchy point now.
Yeah. So I said, all right, we'll try it this once and let's see. And so he's giving it, what, another 2 weeks?
Until we leave for heading north.
Yep. So another 2 weeks, and then that'll be the decision time. But Russ is even looking up online all the different types of beards.
The one I really fancy, to use my dad's verbiage, is called the Whaler or the Amish. And it's just the chops coming along down here. No. The problem is
I will shave that while he sleeps.
The problem is you've got to work with the hand you're dealt with. And I'm dealt with a good mustache, a good goatee, and underneath here. So I might just end up doing like a circle beard.
So, Two Doves said, because this is a little bit
You're catching up, yeah?
Yeah, they said they don't have a Class A to fall back on. Yes, they're wimps.
I was just playing with you guys.
Getting an RV is here. Hello.
Hey, Mary.
Donna says, I resemble that remark, Russ, a natural redhead. The appeal permanent to see.
I like it.
It's not just me. Mary's a redhead, too. She just gets she said, just get freckles, you get darker. See, that was me.
And you have a lot of red tones in your hair, too.
I do, yes.
That's that when I got married to Kerry, she was the first woman that made me nervous when I talked to her. Usually I was like, yeah, I'll go talk to her, and everything I said to this woman was stupid. I'd say yada, yada, yada. I was like, oh, that was stupid. Oh, that was stupid. So then I realized I got to marry this woman.
I've tried to track how we went talking from red tones in my hair to that, but that's okay.
Because I was just saying that I find that attractive.
Oh, well, thank you. And then Julie's here.
Hey, Julie.
Hi, Julie. This is Julie Anderson.
Okay.
Rod is here checking in. Love the landscape. This isn't the ideal view. The other one was where we were before, but we don't want Russ's iPhone to explode. Yeah,
we had to set that in the shade. And I think the last time that we were in the shade too, it was pretty dark, and I can't do a post edit on these live things. So we decided we'll just sit out in the sun facing this way.
We have had people in the past ask us what we use for these live streams. We tend to just go right off the iPhones. But we have found, based off of comments and feedback from people, hearing us was sometimes an issue. So you might notice we have these little lapel mics that we plug into the phone for that as well. So it doesn't have to be very high tech if you wanted to do something like this. JT said, on our way back to El Paso via Carlsbad. Nice tailwind, so great gas.
Nice.
Good, because we ran out of gas from...
I was going to say, last time we drove from Carlsbad to El Paso...
We were on the wrong end of the wind and we were driving into it.
We had a headwind and we made it 2 miles from a gas station.
Yes.
Oh, it was horrible. I'm glad you're getting good gas mileage.
Yes. So Mary wants to know, how is your dad?
My dad is doing...
I'm sorry, but you've got the tag.
Do I have the tag sticking out there?
Sorry. All right.
So she laughs at me. I'm surprised you told me. Usually she just lets me walk around with my fly down or something like that.
No, I do not.
But no, thank you for asking. My dad is still in the hospital. Yesterday they were having him, he said, do aerobics, which was walking up and down the...
yeah, he didn't sound happy about that.
And but they also had him doing things like combing his hair, brushing his teeth, washing his face, which to me means that they are prepping him to go home. They want to make sure that he can do those basic necessities to go home. So we're looking forward to him coming out.
That's why we've been kind of staying here in Pahrump, because while he's in Vegas at the hospital, we've made a couple trips back and forth. But once he gets back here, that's probably when he'll need the most support. So this way we can be close by. We're, what, maybe 3 miles from his house?
A mile and a half.
Yeah, a mile and a half.
Well, no, I think you're right. Yeah, 3
Okay.
miles. It seems a lot shorter, but yeah.
Well, after we travel, I mean, we traveled 11,000 miles in 6 months. So
11,000 miles in
Yeah.
that little guy, Max,
that's crazy. But
towing behind us.
if you ever want to know a rig that's been road tested, and I mean,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that
there's
rig.
nothing wrong with it. Donna said we can thank her because she bullied the emoji people to get redheaded emojis. Thank you. So Improv Debbie says, my preference for men is that they either shave twice a day or they grow a beard. So it's all or nothing.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm
So
trying.
That's why I would usually get on Russ if he had that little bit of scruff. But I said, okay,
Yeah,
we'll try for the full beard, or you got to go back to shaving.
one of our videos in Pie Town, we're out boondocking, and I didn't want to turn the electric water pump on, so I just drained from the low point and shaved there, and I got a lot of comments, shaving in the boondocks, why? And the response was, happy wife, happy life.
They couldn't argue with that.
Yep.
Lewis said, let it grow. The few hairs will die of loneliness. Sorry I had to say that. And then my sister, Kim, she has very dark, almost black hair. And she said she turns lobster red and she's covered in freckles as well. So there's no hope for her getting a tan whatsoever. Unfortunately, Kim, I think you're right on that. Just put on a lot of sunblock and wear big hats. JT said they spent 3 days at a regional track meet out in Carlsbad.
Cool.
That's kind of cool.
For the kids, I imagine?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Either that or they're really in shape.
I kind of, yeah. I kind of miss those days when Brett had his swim meets. They were all day things, but they were a lot of fun just watching the kids.
Were.
You stay there, I mean, in swim, and I imagine in track as well, you are there all day long, 8 hours
I think
for
they
about,
purposely will schedule it so every kid has an event like kind of in the morning,
then
just in
kind
the
of in the
middle,
evening.
and right at the end, so you're committed. all
But
day.
yeah, I mean, you're there for 8 hours to watch in our son's events about 1 minute and 35 seconds worth of swimming.
If that. I mean,
man.
some of his were what, 32 seconds?
Yeah.
You know, and then
I think
they were
even
done
faster in those like 25 or
for
50
for the freeze.
freeze. Man, that kid could motor, man.
Carl said the stars must be great out there. Did you guys watch the recent meteor shower? We caught some of them. We were sitting outside at night and we would see them shooting every now and then,
Yeah.
but we didn't sit out specifically to watch them.
I didn't even know there was one there, but it makes sense now
Yeah.
because we saw several shooting stars or meteors.
Russ's big thing is he keeps trying to find satellites.
I found one again last night.
I know, that's his big thing at night. He'll sit there and look up at the stars and he's like, I found one. Nope, that's not it. I found one. Nope, that's it.
Yeah, I've seen 2 now since we've been out on the road. The first one you actually saw first. Oh no, 3, because I saw one, and then you found one that same night in Coleman Landing, Florida, and then I've seen one out here too.
Donna wants to know what your dad's name is.
My dad's name is Jerry.
Oh, Tamara says auburn-haired women are historically seductresses. Circe, Helen of Troy, Cleopatra used ashes and light to lighten her hair to a red hue.
Well, I'll tell you, she was a seductress because the whole reason I went into the military was to go have as much fun as I could and meet amazingly beautiful women all over the world. And I didn't even get out of tech school. And I ended up married. But the best decision of my life, you ask my mom, you ask my grandmother, you ask my dad, everybody agrees.
27 years later.
Yep.
That's right. That and I'm stubborn, so you couldn't get rid of me even if you wanted to.
That's a good thing.
So Stacy said, got to take Maximus. She has a little guy, Max, named
Yes.
Maximus, out camping last weekend. Only 3 people at Southern Kentucky State Park. Now I know what they mean about shoulder season. Felt like we had to learn how to trailer all over again.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, when you have a long break, even when I got into the little guy Max after not driving it for a couple of weeks, I know that seems like a very short period to people who who are not full-timers. But for us, we were used to trailering almost daily.
Yes.
And then I went about a week or so where we had Teddy in storage, and I went to get it, and at first I felt a little nervous.
Just after a week?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I mean, I got right back into the swing of things.
That was, so when we had Sticks and Bricks life, I would drive normally for my work, but then when I was home and we would go out, just by default, Russ would always drive. And that's just how we did. Well, when we went full-time, Russ naturally drove all the time, and we just fell into our old habits. And so the few times he would ask me to get in the driver's seat, it just felt really weird. Mm-hmm. And then, I did drive the Class A the other day.
Yeah.
3 feet.
We were dumping the tanks. I said, Carrie, can you bring it forward just a little bit?
Yeah,
Careful,
and I was so out of practice that I gassed it before I took it out of park. So that's how out of practice I was. So I need to work on that.
What did I say? I said something. There was like some crazy conditions, and I said, do you want to drive? Do you remember that? I don't remember what it was, but you said...
we were coming down the dirt road going to dump the tanks.
Oh.
And the road was really bumpy.
No, that wasn't what it was. It was the one, I saw this crazy, there's this pass in Colorado that had no...
Oh, that's right.
I think it was called the Golden Highway or something. It looks ridiculous. I wouldn't do it, but I said, we'll have to go down this area. I said, that's where you can drive.
You know, my fear is from that Robin Williams movie, RV, when he's driving it through that, and it reminded me of that road, but then he gets it stuck.
Oh, right at the top. I think he was running back and forth to get a rocky motion going.
That's my fear. Well, all we'd have to do is get Abby to run back and forth. That's the downside of having something this large now, because that dog can get a running head start to tackle you now.
Yeah, and you hear the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you run.
Boom, boom, boom,
Speaking of, Brett is leaving. He's taking his dog Oz out. So he said, have a great stream. So,
all right, Brett. Thank you so
bye,
much
Bubba.
for joining us. Love you.
Judy says, mothers and sisters are redheads. We've got like Redhead Nation thing going. Carpe Diem RV style. Good morning. Happy Sunday.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us.
Congratulations to your new rig. Love the interior tour. Getting a fresh cup of coffee. That reminds me.
Yeah, I'm out. Well, I've got about 2 more sips.
I could run back in. Russ is getting fancy with this coffee now, too. You should have heard how high maintenance he was when I had to get it ready this morning.
I usually drink black, but I got a little bit of almond milk and some sugar substitute.
So Chuck Bronson, he asked if Brett was still there, what's his Instagram. So he has 2. He has the Red Shaman, and he also has Oz the Pyr, P-Y-R, for his dog, because he's just documenting his dog.
Yeah, those 2 get along so well. I do miss Chuck. I can't wait to get up there and see him. I love watching his videos. A lot of fun.
Yes. And I can't wait to go whitewater rafting.
I know.
Tamara said she was so excited that we found the Wee Boost. You have no idea the happy dance I did when I found that. And I was so tempted to call Russ right away and tell him, I'm like, no, I need to drag this out. And I've gotten so used to not surprising him, because this man you cannot surprise. I tried over the years where I'd get a Christmas present like in November or October, and I would hide it. And then he would invariably find it.
It's not like I go looking for it either. It's just...
You just happen to come across it. Or he's so impatient that he can't wait like a week for something. I need this. Well, your birthday is coming up. No, I need it now.
And
then
Carrie's
I'm stuck
already
trying to figure it out.
got it.
Yeah.
She's got to go return it. Yeah, I know. That's one of my worst downfalls, is I have no patience. I know this.
Tara said the whole thing sounded like a Nancy Drew mystery. Yes, we found it. The secret of the Wee Boost.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. This was just the gift that kept on giving. I told our son, I said, we were talking about this, and all of a sudden it's there. We were talking about solar before we bought this, and all of a sudden we find this and it's there. I said, I'm going to mention finding $10 million, and then it'll show up. And Brett said, be careful. You never know what form that $10 million may show up in. There might be cocaine packed in a secret compartment. I was like, yeah, you're right. We probably shouldn't wish for that.
We should go have K9 check it all out just to make sure.
Yep.
So Mary said, with all your investigation, what Wee Boost would you have purchased? Sorry, Carrie, I'm picking your brain. What's funny is that is the one I wanted, because it's the RV model. and you have an antenna, and you've got an antenna on the roof, you've got a panel on the wall, and then you've got the small little actual box that you can turn on and off. But it allows for a better signal. But back when we were thinking of actually having to purchase it, I was trying to go on the cheap a little bit. Our alternate one, I forget the exact name of it, but it was one that was more for the car. And I figured, well, if we really needed to boost it, you could go sit in the car. We would normally go get in the car and drive to McDonald's anyway. So we could do that, and then we could have it while we were driving down the road. So this wound up being better. And so when you do go shopping for them, they do have car models. So if you want to save some money, you could go that route. If you have a travel trailer behind you, you could just get the car model. Or if you have an RV that you want to mount it in, they have the RV models. And I believe Thor is coming out. A lot of their newer models, even their travel trailers, are coming out with those pre-built in now.
Oh, nice.
So that's something to ask if you're looking at new 2019 models of any brand. Just ask them if they offer that as an upgrade or if it's standard as some of their packages.
Yeah, you know, one thing that we've learned, though, and the reason why we never bought that car model, even though it was about $200 cheaper, was we've been burned so many times trying to save money. You end up buying something, trying to save money. Oh, it'll work, and then it doesn't work as well as you thought.
Yep.
And then you end up buying the other one already, and then trying to sell your other product, you know, maybe on Craigslist or something, and lose money that way. So for us, I'm glad we didn't just jump in too quick because we were gifted with an amazing WeBoost.
It's been working great because like I said, I noticed a difference. I'd turn it off, look at what we had, and then I'd turn it on, and you'd see those bars going right up.
Yeah, and we were able to stream Game of Thrones last Sunday.
Off of our jetpack.
And we're going to stream Game of Thrones again tonight.
Now, to compare that, the first week of Game of Thrones, we were in our little guy Max, still at the RV resort in Las Vegas. We were in the heart of Vegas. Cell coverage was still fairly good, and we still had trouble buffering.
Yeah, buffered, and then it was really blurry.
And now we're out here a couple miles outside of town, out in Pahrump, and we were able to stream that without a problem. And computers too, I've been able to access. Russ has been able to upload. You have not had to run to McDonald's once.
No.
Which was really nice.
Yep.
Donna asked what kind of dog Brett has. He has a Great Pyrenees. He did not know what well, we had one when he was younger, and I think the nostalgia kind of got to him, and so when he decided he wanted to get a dog, he found this one. But he found one that's just turning 2. Very rambunctious. Yeah. But they're a good pair.
It was a great, I think at first you and I are like, God, we were talking about get a Chihuahua because he was kind of lonely out in Seattle by himself because his fiance is in Northern Ireland. They're working on getting their fiance visa set up. But he said, you know, I'm kind of lonely. And we're like, get a dog. We were thinking like maybe a Chihuahua or a small dog. And he comes home with a small pony. And but no, you see that dog. What's really neat is he was FaceTiming us, or video chatting, and he's walking up to his apartment. His apartment is on the 2nd floor. And it's got these big glass windows, floor to ceiling glass windows. And Brett walks up there and he's like, Oz! And all of a sudden you see Oz pop his head up in the window. And it was such a cool thing.
He said he'll sit in the apartment and he can hear people calling to the dog. Some people in the neighborhood know the dog's name already because he takes him for walks, and other people will just see him and then start calling to him. So he's become like the neighborhood attraction because he's just so massive.
Yeah.
Lewis is leaving. He's heading to the airport now. See you next Friday. Bye, Lewis.
All right, Lewis. Hey, man, shoot me a text. I'm curious of what you do for a living because I know you're always traveling. It seems very cool. You're always working, and I know that you have control because you said you were closing up early on Friday to start Friday Night Wine just a little bit early. So send me a text. I'm interested in what you do.
I didn't know he did that. That's so sweet.
Yeah, that's why I said that's why he wasn't there. I said he got too drunk too early to join us.
Okay.
Take care, Lewis. Safe travels, my friend.
Bye, Lewis. So I'm trying to see who asked the question. Okay, Donna asked off of your what pack? Jetpack. We have Verizon, and they sell these little jetpacks. It's like a hotspot, but this way you're not hooked up to your phone, so you're not using all of your phone data. You have little extra that you have on there. They typically, jetpacks, even if you have an unlimited plan, will start throttling you at around 15 gigs on a jetpack. Your phone, right around 22 on average, unless you try to find some special plans. That the demand is out there now, so a lot of these companies are coming out with different plans that work better for people. The one other thing I like about the jetpack is if you want a really strong signal, sometimes you can tether that directly into your computer, which I like.
That's what we've done. Also, the jetpack, another great benefit of the jetpack is that it can charge devices. So if your phone is low but your jetpack is fully charged, you can charge small devices off of that.
So I'm trying to see who just asked this question. Judy asks, I wonder why the people that owned the Class A sold it after adding all of the upgrades.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's a funny story. One night, I didn't mention it to you. One night, I woke up at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I thought the same thing, Judy. I was like, why would somebody sell this with all this amazing stuff in it? And then it hit me. I was like, oh no, the guy died in it. And I'm thinking, I'm looking like in the shadows and stuff, seeing if I see anything. Yeah, that hit. I didn't say anything to you.
Yeah, you better not have. Now you did. It's out there.
I don't think they did, but that's where my mind goes at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
You know, but it also could have been something where they could have moved and they didn't have a place, you know, for a yard and they didn't want to pay storage fees. Or
a lot of times
it's going to go nicer things, or they're just not.
A lot of times plans change.
Or they want the cash to use for something else.
Exactly.
I mean, we were told that it was an older gentleman that used this to travel from Vegas to San Diego to go visit his family. And, you know, he could have just said, you know, I could use that money to give to them.
Yeah, or could have just moved to San Diego, something like that. But we don't know.
And so Julie Anderson said, we ordered a new Geo Pro and it has a Wi-Fi Ranger Wi-Fi Booster Sky 4. I'll need to learn about that. See, that's exactly what I was talking about. A lot of these newer units, these companies are realizing that is a selling point. And really, when they're creating something like that, to put something in for $400 or $500, and I guarantee you they're not paying that, because that's what we would pay at a store. If they're buying them in bulk directly from the manufacturer to put into their units, they're probably getting a discount as well.
Oh, of course.
So let's say even $300, but that helps sell their model over somebody else's product. So that's going to help them.
That's one thing that we are thinking about getting, not right away because we won't need it, but we are thinking about getting a Wi-Fi Ranger as well. So we have the data, which helps our cell phone and our uploading through our cellular data. But sometimes when we're on the far end of a campground, we don't have very good Wi-Fi. So with a Wi-Fi Ranger, you can boost the available Wi-Fi that's already there.
Yeah, so that's something interesting that, you know, confused us for a long time. So a cell booster will do exactly that. It boosts whatever cell signal that you are getting,
which is our
Verizon. So like a tower or something, it'll multiply it by 32 times.
Well, I'm talking our WeBoost. That's what a WeBoost is, a cell booster.
And the other thing that was interesting that I found out, that was an aside, it says it allows your phone to operate up to 2 hours longer. And the reason being, it's not working as hard to try to reach the signal to get in, so you get longer phone life from that, and you're able to go out further distances and still have good connections. Now, Wi-Fi Ranger just amplifies when there is already a good Wi-Fi signal in the area. So for example, if we had gone to a McDonald's and we wanted to park on the far side of the lot because we have a big bus now, we would be able to still get a very strong signal, where before, when we were in the truck, sometimes we'd have to go around the side of the building and park right up close to the door just so we could get it, not have to get out and go inside the building. Yeah. Or like you said, at campgrounds when they have free Wi-Fi and you just want to use that and you don't want to operate off of your data, you can boost Wi-Fi that way.
We've been at several campgrounds where they said, hey, where you guys at? Not so much, but if you come by the clubhouse, you can get good reception of the Wi-Fi. So that's where a Wi-Fi Ranger comes in.
So Tamara said the included solar panels sold us on their little guy Max. That was part of it for us as well. I was incredibly naive when we first started shopping, going into places. I thought if it had solar, whoo, I can take it anywhere. I never have to plug in. I don't need a generator or anything. I learned very quickly that isn't the case. You can't operate typically your air conditioners and things on it. But even just that one panel that we had on the little guy Max,
Yeah, that took care of a lot of our needs.
It took care of a lot. And the thing that I stressed to a lot of people that asked us about it, the only reason why we needed to really use our generator most of the time, or while we were looking for additional solar, really came down to our computers, because we work from the road. So if you're doing it for long weekend trips or occasional computer usage, you're fine. But that heavy duty use, like what we would have to put it through, we needed just that little bit more. Now with this thing, I mean, we'll turn on TV. I can run the NutriBullet in the morning, Instant Pot.
A single AC unit.
So the solar definitely comes in handy.
Yeah, oh, and the inverter, the fact that we have an inverter.
On those smaller units like the tabs, the tags, or the little guy maxes and mini maxes, you can get a lot of functionality even just from one panel, but I believe the newer models are all coming out with the 2 because people realize that they want a lot more from those. So that helps. Mary wants to know, how did you get all this info about Wi-Fi, boosters, etc., the internet? Yes, the internet.
The internet. And then Kerry at the Escapees, you sat in on the Wi-Fi Ranger. What's it called? Class.
They had a booth there, and then they also have different sessions. So you can always go to these type of different type of RVing events. So for example, Escapees, even if you're not a member, they do have open day passes. So Two Doves Nation, as a matter of fact, when we invited them to come out, they weren't members of Escapees, but they came and they checked it out. And the way that Escapees works it, the cost of admission covers your fees for the entire year, and you can get a lot of information from there. But if not, I typically will always go to a manufacturer's website first, read all of their stuff, then I will research YouTube and other people's blog information, because sometimes people's blogs might be of older, outdated materials, or they might have found tips and tricks, which are great, but sometimes it might be a little bit off. So by double checking your information, especially when it comes to things like electricity and stuff like that, I always go to the source first, and then I kind of work around from there. Yeah,
there's really, I think if you're looking at getting into this, whether you're looking at getting into it full-time or just kind of weekend warrioring, Escapees is such a great source of information. If you can attend their yearly annual bashes, the next one I think is in May of 2020.
There are so many seminars packed into that you could just go to that every year and get a wealth of information, and they keep you up to date on everything. And it's a lot of fun too.
So the next one is May of 2020, and it's in Wyoming. June. Oh, June of 2020. Okay, I don't know why I keep thinking May. June of 2020.
You want it in May, that's fine.
June of 2020 in Wyoming.
Carpe Diem wants to know, did we sell our Trek? Not yet, but we plan on doing that within the next week or so here. Just while we're here, it's kind of helped out with Russ's dad being in the hospital so that we didn't have to keep driving the rig back and forth to Las Vegas.
Yeah, we just held on to it a little bit longer.
John Davis is in the room.
Hey, John. Thanks for joining us.
Said, how do you like your new Class A? I hate it.
Yeah, right.
Totally hate it.
No, this thing is unbelievable. The ability to be able to just do whatever we want and not have to turn the generator on, not have to plug in. It feels like a regular home. I mean, it really does.
Yeah, we don't even think twice now about just plugging in, even running the microwave. We did turn on the generator. The last 3 days in the Pahrump, Vegas area have been in the upper 90s. So we did turn on the generator those days so we could run both ACs to keep everything cool. But other than that, like with the weather dropping down to the 80s today, definitely tomorrow, and the rest of the week we won't have to
blended.
do that. Blended. I might have already answered this before, but Donna wants to know how much solar did we have on the little guy Max. We only had the one 100-watt panel.
Yeah, but that handled everything. Recharged our battery all the time. That little, we had a single 12-volt battery in there. 12 volts sounds small. It's what was the AGM? Is that what it was? Or a wet? No, it was a wet cell.
It was a wet cell.
Yeah, a regular wet cell, and that 100-watt kept up with everything we needed to do.
Yeah, so Mary had asked, in our opinion, how much solar do you think you would need on the LGM? So on the 2018, that 100 really handled everything that it could on that. Now that being said, on the 2019s, the later 2019s, I guess they started this later in their production. They tied in where you could charge a couple USB ports and run one of the televisions off of the solar panel. So obviously that was more of a draw. That's why they put two up. So if you have that later, or you're looking at that later 2019, that ties in those extra electronic components, you would definitely need the two solar panel units for that. But I think just the way that it's curved and the way the ZAMP systems work, if you wanted to add more, because of those flexible panels, you could run a lot more.
Yeah, you just have to make sure that the ZAMP controller on that on the 2018 model is the one that can handle 200 watts, because ours could only handle, what, 170 watts, I think?
Yeah.
So that's your only obstacle if you're in the 2018. If you're in the 2019 or the 2020s, which are already coming out, not a problem. But the 100 watts for us was perfect. I think Kerry hit the nail on the head when she mentioned if you've got more ability to run, like they have a 12-volt TV in there, you have the USBs that are able to work off a 12-volt, 200 probably better.
And we didn't really miss that because we rarely watched TV.
No.
I mean, just up until Game of Thrones came on, I mean, we were really kind of, take it or leave it.
Yep.
Judy said, I went RV looking yesterday, looked at an RPod 190 and the Nobo 19.5. The RPod has no storage. That was a big factor. You know, we had looked at those. I was gravitating towards the LGM just because of the aesthetics, but also the storage on that. But cost-wise, you're right.
Yeah, the RPod's very attractive cost-wise.
She said she liked the Nobo too. We saw those when we were at Tom's Camperland.
Yes.
And they're pretty sleek
They're
looking.
sweet. Yeah, and we've seen some out in some campgrounds. They're nice units.
Did you or anyone here have any experience with the Nobo 19.5, 10,000 less than an LGM? Yeah, they're right around that 19,000, 20,000.
Wow, that's a good price. I just thought they were more expensive just by looking at it.
They do, well, and I'm not sure if it's the Nobo 19.5 or not, but they have that cool outdoor kitchen slide where it's kind of tucked in, and then you can slide it out, and you've got the cooking grill, and then the little
the outdoor
sink
grill
area.
stuff, yeah.
That, I do like that. You know, you see some rigs with the outdoor kitchens, and at the time, you know, we thought, oh, we don't want that. But when the weather is nice, it's kind of cool where you don't have to lug out all the little portable grills and stuff. If you could just slide it out and then tuck it away when you're done.
Our shade for the camera is slowly getting, see the sun's hitting the camera
Well, we could do the...
Let's move in just a little bit, guys. Bear with us for a second.
Oh, I don't know which way I'm moving. Okay. All right.
There we go.
Okay.
Camera's out of the sun again.
So Donna says, I'm a newbie. I don't even have possession of my Tab 320S yet, but you will soon. And then it'll be so much fun.
Yeah. I'm excited for you. Those are exciting times when you're waiting for your rig or when you're trying to decide what rig you've
that
got.
day could not come fast enough. And Russ tried to time it. We took possession of our little guy Max June 13th last year. And my birthday is June 12th. So we tried to get it on my birthday, but it was still a really cool birthday present.
Yeah, and then when you get it, you're going to be so excited that you're going to be sitting in it during the daytime.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not even going anywhere, you'll even sleep. And I suggest definitely sleep in it in your driveway. But you'll just go out there and sit in it and listen to the radio or
just
turn the TV on.
Well, I've seen some people where they just set it up in their backyard and have these weekend camping trips. And what a cool way for a sleep out. It's like a grown-up.
Yeah, especially if you have kids. Especially if you have kids out there. Can you imagine that?
The coolest parents. That's better than a treehouse.
We had tents all the time.
Hi, Bodie. Thank you for joining us. So we have Escapees offers a military discount to join and renew. Yes, they do. You do have to submit the paperwork to show that, which, you know, we never did. I should have when we were there, and I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, we should have took our DD-214s.
Because when you go to the event, you get this little extra identification on your stuff.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
That tells you're a veteran?
Yes.
Oh, we're doing it. We're getting
Susan says, did you keep your truck or did you buy a car? So we have our truck right now, but we are getting rid of it within the next week or so. We would like to get a pull behind, but
we
one
want
of the
something
things,
that can flat tow.
something to flat tow and something that we can just pay all cash with.
Yeah.
One of the other things, moving to this lifestyle, we're just trying to become as financially independent as possible, so that way we can be flexible with the decisions that we make and where we want to go and things that we want to do. So if we can't afford it, then we don't get it, which is one of the reasons why we did look at a 99, because we wanted to stay within a certain bracket of cash and not go over that and not finance it, so we didn't have to worry about it. And but I will tell you, it's tempting walking into some of those more expensive rigs, some of the newer rigs. But Russ and I were talking about it. Had we been shopping like this before we hit the road, we probably would have discounted this. We wouldn't have looked at it. One, we wouldn't have known what the value was in this.
Yeah, yes, solar? Psh.
Yeah. Solar would be like,
Inverter?
Oh yeah, that's
Psh.
cool.
Yeah.
Something nice to have, but not a necessity. Oh, it's a necessity. We've been out here a full 7 days. We haven't had to plug in. We've only run the generator 2 days, I think. And that was just so we could run the 2 ACs when it was really hot. But other than that, no. And it's just the way that we RV now. But we didn't know how we would be when we started. So our time in the little guy, I love. If there was a way we could still keep it and tuck it aside and take it every now and then, I would still love to do that, but we can't. That's not reasonable. Carpe Diem is taking off.
All right, Carpe
talk
Diem.
to you later.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
joining.
joining us. Donna's getting a 2019.
2019 LGM?
I think so.
Oh no, it's
the
the tab.
320S.
Yeah. Sorry, mine wasn't working.
Yeah,
I can't even blame it on coffee because I drank a whole cup.
So Julie Anderson said, buy your second RV first. We got an LG Max and realized the second day of camping we got the wrong one for us. We needed a walk-around bed and a full bath.
Man, I'm telling you, that north, if they could have fit a north-south full-size queen bed in there, and they had like you said, a full bath, we might still be in it now. That was one of the tougher things. Well, and then the workspace, but yeah, that north, south, or east-west bed situation was something we realized very early on.
Now, as a single person, I love the coziness of the little guy. I think it's perfect for one person. 2 people for camping for a weekend, I think it's great. And we've proven you can survive in it and not kill each other for 6 months full time. But for overall comfort, we thought at the time, because we loved everything else about the little guy, when we talked about the bed, it's like, oh, no, big deal, not a big deal. I'll sleep on that side. We can rotate it. But I think it really kind of came to a head when you got sick.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where you just felt uncomfortable and you didn't have the space.
I had no place to go.
Yeah.
Like, normally when I'm sick, I'll go sleep out on the couch, or there just was no couch to go to because Abby was sleeping on it. Here,
You could go sleep with Abby.
here I could just walk out and sleep on one of the couches, so it made a lot of sense for us living style.
So Judy said the one she looked at only had an indoor kitchen. Not sure if it could have been an add-on. I don't think it's an add-on. I think it's one of their other models in that series. I just remember looking at those one time online, and I thought they were really cool. And then we saw one version of them, but not with the outdoor kitchen at Tom's Camperland. And then Tamara was saying, Donna, when you order stuff on Amazon, it's like Christmas whenever anything is delivered. Yes.
Yeah, and you can, if you want to support the channel, you can go to our website and click through one of our Amazon links there, and we'll get a little kickback, just being transparent.
Yes, Buddy the Jeep Dog. So Buddy the Jeep Dog says you need a Jeep. That's what I want, but I don't know if it'll be feasible. Like, if we can save up for one, I would love to get a Jeep.
Yeah.
And part of that, we can blame Moab.
Yeah, oh man.
We saw everybody going out and having fun with their Jeeps, and it would be really tempting. But the thing is, we like to have our dogs with us a lot. I don't like leaving them. Okay, so I really did not like leaving them in the little guy Max. It was such a tiny space. They didn't have a lot of room to move around. They could get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And they would bark at everything because they could see everybody going around. If I wanted the windows with that little crack. So they always kind of came with us everywhere. This, I would not have as much of a hesitation leaving them in for periods of time.
Well, and the thing about this too, that makes us, even when it's warmer, is we can set the AC to a certain level, turn the generator on, and walk away, and we know that it's going to stay nice and cool in here too.
But that being said, we've gotten so used to traveling with them a lot that when we went to a place like Moab, I'd love to go doing some of those road things, but I'd want to take the dogs. And they did allow at escapers where if somebody had room in their vehicle, you could go jump in. And but trying to say, hey, can I bring my dogs too? I mean, that just wouldn't work. But if we went out there and we could just have it and take them along, that would be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yes. So Judy is telling Donna, remember, pull through sites in the beginning. Suggest that all the way. That's what we did because you have so much stress going on, especially if it's your first time towing. I don't know about you or anybody else, but I was already stressing about how are we going to do all the hookups when we get there before we even got there. So one less thing that you can stress out about that's in your control at the beginning.
Yeah, it's very helpful. But one thing I do suggest, though, if you cannot get a back in or a pull through, don't let somebody else do it for you.
Take your time.
Take your time. Do it. Even
Ask
if it
them
takes
to help walk you through it, to give you directions.
You've got to learn how to do it. And if you take the easy way out and let that helpful guy, because there is somebody at every camp that will help you get in there. Now that's if it's a normal situation. If you're trying to fit into a small area where there's a lot of other rigs and you might cause damage to yourself or somebody else's rig, then maybe you let somebody else do it. But at all costs, do it yourself.
And if you go to places at the beginning, kind of like KOAs, they'll usually have an escort that drives you to your site and will walk you in. You can even tell them, I'm new, could you kind of help talk me through this? And they are experienced. Most of the times I found out they're work camping.
Yeah.
So these are full-time RVers that are work camping and helping out. So they're experienced in this. They see people coming through all day long. So they're more than happy to help you do that. Mary said 32 watching and only 14 thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, guys.
Thank you, Mary. always appreciated.
Judy said there's so much traffic around Atlanta that worries me. We drove through that.
Yeah,
Russ drove through that.
Yeah, we went through Atlanta
while it was raining and downpouring.
Yeah.
And I remember when we first got this, we said we're never driving in the rain. We're never driving in bad weather. We have this where we can be mobile and choose when we want to travel. We just won't travel on those days. And we didn't have a choice. We wouldn't have gone anywhere for 3 months.
Sometimes, yeah, it sounds good, and sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. But yeah, no, Atlanta was tough to go through. Downtown Vegas wasn't fun either. Excuse me, with both rigs. I didn't enjoy taking either rig downtown Vegas.
I was terrified for you when you first got into this, and I was following you in the truck. Mm-hmm. But you did it like a trooper. You were very good. Yeah, safety first. So always, Russ touched on this, I believe, on Friday. Go with your comfort level. Don't ever let anybody force you or stress you into a situation.
Yep.
If somebody's like right on your rear end or something, just keep trucking along. They'll eventually pass you. And I know it can be stressful too when you get into areas where maybe they can't pass. It's a no passing zone and you see a line of cars behind you. Don't worry about it.
Better be safe than sorry. And this is going to happen whether you're driving a travel trailer, whether you're driving a Class A. People are going to, you'll leave a lot of room because you need room to brake safely. People are going to jump in front of you. Just back off.
Yeah.
After that happens 20 times, you start to speed up a little bit to try to keep that room where they may not get in. They're going to get in. And really, it comes down to you may lose 5 minutes or so. Just let them in and back off of them. Keep your safe distance all the time.
Yeah, that's one of the more, surprising things that I remember going through driver's ed and they would talk about semi-trucks, that they can't stop very quickly. And the fact that people are not aware enough to translate that to RVs and people towing trailers, that they are just as dangerous and sometimes a little more so because they haven't gone through all these big safety classes.
Yeah, we're not professional drivers.
With that time that I was on the freeway, we were going from Elephant Butte down to Las Cruces, and I was driving and this car cut in front of me. I said, dude, you do not know I'm new at this. You should not chance it.
I got about 27 minutes of driving experience.
You should give me a wide berth. I mean, I wish there was like a sticker I could put Oh, there. I only have X number of hours driving. Give me a lot of space.
Yeah.
But yeah, these cars will just kind of weave in and out. Just take your time and just allow
Always,
as much space as you can.
Always back off. Always back off.
Yeah, drivers need to be more aware. And I don't know how else, because obviously people that are watching things like this, or people that are watching or interested in RVing, we're aware of it because we're immersed in it. But all these other people that are cutting people out, they're not watching these videos, so they're really not aware. Unless we take out billboards or something, I don't know how else we could let people know that they're putting themselves in danger.
Well, you know, it just comes down to you having to be aware of that situation and to expect the unexpected.
Apparently, Donna and Judy were separated at birth. Just saying. The redheads 5'3", they got a lot in common. See, we bring people together. Welcome. Okay, Stacy's checking out. Bye, Stacy.
All right,
Happy
thanks
Sunday.
for joining us, Stacy.
Hope you had a really good iced coffee. That reminds me, I want to try that one that the Vietnamese
Again?
sugar rush.
Yeah.
That
was a little sweet for me, but I know you enjoyed it.
You put it on ice, and it is amazing.
So we are getting close to wrapping up, guys. I think we're just over the hour right now, but let's open it up to any last-minute comments, questions, tips, or concerns. If not, we'll just say goodbye, and we hope everybody has a great Sunday, and we look forward to you joining us live again next Friday. But we'll let some stuff.
So Judy
roll
said a comment that I wanted to respond to. She said, I've thought of going around expressways. I really like that, and you can do, especially through like Google Maps. When you plan your routes, you could select to avoid highways.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Those are sometimes the best drives because they take you through places that you're not speeding 65 miles past, and you can stop and check out the local areas. So if you're RVing, why not?
The thing to be aware, though,
there is
that's a great idea, and Kerry and I do that. But one thing to be aware of is the availability of getting fuel, and not only that, but the availability of a big fuel station where you can get your rig in and maneuver. So definitely do that, but also do your research ahead of time. Know where your bigger gas stations are.
So building on that, Lewis had mentioned to us a while ago, Garmin has a GPS that you can do your routes with, but you can also put the size and weight of your rig.
Yeah,
and it will plan a route based on, and the reason why that's important is there are some areas with bridges, really low bridges. So I grew up in New England, and you have all those old...
Mm-hmm. Bless you. Boy, that was drawn out.
I know, sorry. So if you want to just take out all the guesswork on that, you might want to invest in one of those Garmin RV GPSs, and it'll take all of that out of the way, and you can say avoid freeways.
They're a little pricey. I think they're in the $400 range, but if it makes your travel a lot easier, then it might be worth it.
Yeah, Bodie has driven trucks all his life, so.
Oh yeah, those truck drivers.
Easy for
we're
you.
in TRC not TRC in what's that one? Deming, New Mexico, and we pulled in to this parking lot. There was a truck driver there. I said, "Hey, do you need me to move up?" He said, "No, I think I can do it." I wouldn't have even tried to get our little guy Max behind our truck out of the area that he was able to get that full 53-foot long semi out of. A lot of props for those guys. They are terrific drivers.
Oh, I just look at some of those places where the offloading facility centers, and they're like, you've got maybe an arm's length between the two.
Here's the deal. You remember that old commercial back in the day? It was talk about truck driving. This kid comes up and he wants to get a job driving a truck. The foreman looks at him and goes, "Well, you look like you can get the truck from here to there." And he points at a map from the East Coast to the West Coast. He says, "But can you get it from there to there?" And it was a little back end spot. You know, that's so true. But we are getting close to wrapping up here, so I want you to catch up on any last minute things.
Just Donna asked, Garmin GPS RV specific? Yes. I will try to look up I'll go back in the notes that Lewis sent us, and I will give me about an hour, and then I'll put that in the comments below on this video, so that way you could see what we were talking about on that. And I'll also put a link to the 2 different Wii Boosts that we had considered before we bought as well. So that's all I have.
All right. Me too. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Koffee.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you have if you have the opportunity when you leave, please click that like button. It'll help other people see us in the future. And if you're not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. And also, if you're subscribed but you haven't hit that little bell notification, that bell notification will let you know right away whenever we go live or whenever we have new videos up, so you'll stay up to date.
And you won't miss any of them, especially when Russ changes the name of our Coffee with Kerry. Or
hey, I just type it in.
Because I even have to find them. But yeah, it's a great way. We do that with everyone that we follow as well. So that way we know when people put out their new videos.
Yep.
And it's a great little tool that YouTube has. So we hope you have a great Sunday. Apparently Bodie says it's NASCAR time, so we should probably wrap it up.
All right. Okay. Enjoy NASCAR.
All right. Bye, guys.
Take care, guys.